gas prices, millions and millions of illegal aliens pouring across our border, race and gender indoctrination, perverting our schools, and above all, this election is a referendum on the corruption and extremism of Joe Biden and the radical Democrat Party.
Boo! We hate him. You're right, Trump.
If you want to stop this destruction of America, you must vote Republican. You got to get out and vote.
Yeah.
As you know, this week, Joe Biden came
I'm going to do Okay Buddy after this, by the way.
Pennsylvania,
but I got to pee. I'll be back.
The most vicious, hateful, and divisive speech ever delivered by an American president, vilifying 75 million citizens plus another probably 75 to 150, if we want to be accurate about it, as threats to democracy and as enemies of the state. You're all enemies of the state. He's an enemy of the state. You want to know the truth? The enemy of the state is him and the group that control him, which is circling around him. Do this, do that, Joe. You're going to do this, Joe, right? I think Philadelphia was a great choice to make this speech of hatred and anger. His speech was hatred and anger. By the way, the next morning he forgot what he said. You saw that. They asked him about, oh, I didn't think I said that, did I? Oh, no. How'd you like the red lighting behind him like the devil? But Philadelphia was a great choice because the city is being devastated under Democrat rule. Devastated. Hate to tell you, we love Pennsylvania. I went to school in Philadelphia. What's happening to Philadelphia? 14 people were shot last weekend in Philadelphia, 14. And the fake news will go out and check. Oh, that's a lot of fake news. Whoa. That's a lot of fake news. Wow. Well, they'll go out and check the facts. 4 people were killed last weekend. At one point last month, 7 people were shot in the span of just 71 minutes. Philadelphia. This year in Philadelphia has already seen more than 1,400 people shot, including numerous beautiful little children. Last year, the city set an all-time murder record with 560 homicides. And it's on track to shatter that record again in 2022, numbers that nobody's ever seen other than in some other Democrat-run cities. Armed robberies in Philadelphia are up 62%. Doug, you have to take care of this. You have to take care of this. And Oz will send you the goods. Oz, send him the goods. You know what the goods are? Lots of police officers. That's what the goods are. Just recently announced, retail theft is up 59% from last year. There have been more than 750 carjackings this year. Anybody have a nice car? Because you're not going to have it long. More than triple the average for 2010 to 2019, and it's heading way up, heading up in other cities that are run by Democrats also. Instead of trying to demonize half of the population, Biden and congressional Democrats should focus on stopping the killing and the bloodshed in Philadelphia and every other Democrat-run city in America, where record death and destruction is taking place every single day. Biden thinks making America great again is bad for our country. Do you
Why is Newsmax showing better coverage?
Stop it. Stop MAGA. Stop Make America Great Again. He thinks making America great again
Newsmax offering
is a
better
threat
coverage?
to our country. No, making America great again is great
That's
for
bullshit.
our country. Great. There's only one party that's waging war on American democracy by censoring free speech, criminalizing dissent. You see that happening. Disarming law-abiding citizens, issuing lawless mandates and unconstitutional orders, imprisoning political protesters. That's what they're doing. Rigging elections, weaponizing the Justice Department and the FBI like never, ever before.
Oh, man, I can't wait to watch Greg Kelly later.
And raiding and breaking into the homes of their political opponents. I wonder who that could be.
Speak out on it, King. This criminal justice system is crazy.
Republicans and the MAGA movement are not the ones trying to undermine our democracy. We are the ones trying to save our democracy. Very simple. Very simple. Very simple. The danger to democracy comes from the radical left, not from the right. Not from the right. This November, we're going to stand up to this rising tyranny of sickness, lawlessness, and death, and we are going to take back our country. We're going to take it back.
Do you support Trump? You mean our president? Yeah, I am a patriot. Of course I support our president, the real one. And not the one who stole the election from our real president. Should I put my hat on?
There
Do
could
I
be
support
no
our
more
president?
vivid example of the very real threats from American freedom than just a few weeks ago. You saw it when we witnessed one of the most shocking abuses of power by any administration in American history. The shameful raid and
Would anyone who
break-in of
doesn't
my
support
home,
our president have
Mar-a-Lago,
such a comically
was a
sized hat
travesty of
showing his true
justice
dedication?
that made a mockery of America's
Watch this,
laws,
watch this.
traditions, and principles before the entire world was watching, and they're shocked. They're shocked. South American countries, numerous of them, their leaders said, could you imagine if that was ever done in our country?
Yeah,
what the United States would be saying about us.
That would never happen.
The
in other
Biden
countries.
administration invaded the home of their chief political opponent,
Okay, these ads are
who is
crazy.
absolutely destroying
These ads
him
are
and everyone
crazy,
else in
bro.
the
What the
polls. I
fuck?
hate to say it.
Bro, they know what they're doing. Newsmax is like, this is the one time. This is the one time we got motherfuckers watching. We have to go crazy with it.
Even including the Republicans, but we love the Republicans. On a phony pretext, getting permission from a highly political magistrate who they handpicked late in the evening, just days before the break-in, and trampled upon my rights and civil liberties as if our country that we love so much were a third world nation. We're like a third world nation. They rifled through the First Lady's closet drawers and everything else.
Boo! He's gonna say, I don't blame him. She's
And
so
even
hot.
did a deep and ugly search of the room of my 16-year-old son,
Not Baron! Not Baron!
leaving
Fucking-
everything they touched in
Those
far
bastards.
different condition than it was when they started. Can you believe it? The FBI and the Justice Department have become vicious monsters, controlled by radical left scoundrels, lawyers, and the media who tell them what to do, you people right there, and when to do it. They're trying to silence me, and more importantly, they are trying to silence you, but we will not be silenced, right?
Damn, they're
We
going
will
crazy
never
for him,
stop.
for real.
Speaking the truth, we have no choice because we're not going to have a country left. The evil and malice of this demented persecution of you and me should be obvious to all, and it is. Even media companies that are pretty far left have come out and said, we can't believe this is happening in the USA. We are being assaulted by the same group at the FBI and DOJ that just a few years ago declared no reasonable prosecutor would charge crooked Hillary Clinton after she set up a secret illegal server to hide her family's pay-for-play schemes, crammed it full of classified information, allowed it to be plundered by foreign hackers, you know that happened, and then deleted, acid-washed, 30,000 emails. Think of that.
Lock her up then,
30,000
pussy.
emails.
You didn't, though.
And what else did
Sucks
she do?
to suck.
Boom, with a hammer, smashed her phone systems to smithereens after receiving the highest level of subpoena from the U.S. Congress.
He didn't lock her up.
Think of that. Think of that. Yet now these same people, the exact same people, are sending the FBI storming through the home of their #1 political rival. It's a disgrace like possibly never before. Our country's never seen anything like it. They talk about documents not being properly stored, yet they go in and take documents, dump them on the floor, stage a photo shoot.
I want to get the Newsmax cap.
And pretend that I had done it,
That's
like
so
I
sick.
had put them all over the floor. They took that back after a lot of prodding. Then they put out for public consumption a picture which is seen all over the world. This is what they do. It's called disinformation. These are very dishonest, sick people. Very dishonest people. Americans are sick of the lies, sick of the hoaxes and scams, and above all, sick of the hypocrisy. But our opponents have badly miscalculated. This egregious abuse of the law is going to produce a backlash, the likes of which nobody has ever seen before. Before our very eyes, our beloved country is being taken over by the very people who
They put the microphone on the crowd. They open the crowd microphone so you can hear the cheers. That's why the audio doubles up.
They think they can divide us, but they can't. They can't divide us.
That's why they do that.
They can't divide us. The MAGA movement is the greatest in the history of our country. And maybe in the history of the world, maybe in the history of the world. In any event, we have no choice. We are trying to save our country because such bad things are happening to our beautiful, beloved America. We will make America great again. I will never turn my back on you. And you will never turn your back on me because we love our nation. And we will save our nation from people who are trying to destroy it. It was not just my home that was raided last month. It was the hopes and dreams of every citizen who I've been fighting for since the moment I came down the golden escalator in 2015, wanting to represent the people, wanting to stop the massive corruption of our country, and determined to finally, in this world, put America first. I want to put America first, and we did. We did. We did. There's never been a period of time, both before COVID, or the China virus, as we say, and after COVID. From that moment on, I became the enemy of the Washington swamp. For 6 years, the radical Democrat Party, the rhinos, the media, and the deep state have tried relentlessly to stop me and you. First, they fabricated the Russia scam. You saw it was a total fabrication. Now they all admit it. Then we had impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, and now these same exact people at Justice and the FBI, the same people, along with outside scum, are at it again with the horrific raid of my home. They just go on, and they have to be stopped. We have to spend time on our country, not on defending ourselves against scams. Thank you. Think of it about Russia and the Mueller. No collusion, right? Came in, no collusion. That was your decision after 2.5 years, no collusion. I could have told them that after the first hour, and they could have said that because they had the laptop from hell, which had everything, so they knew immediately. But it went on. But think of this, you know, and I tell this story on occasion, very seldom, because it's too sad to tell. But I tell this story because it's very important. Russia was a hoax. It was developed by Hillary Clinton and a group of people, small group around a kitchen table, as a way of explaining why she lost an election that a lot of people thought she would win, because the Democrats have an advantage in elections because of a lot of things, aside from the fact they cheat like hell. So when they lost, Hillary Clinton and her people and guys like Adam Shifty Schiff, Watermelon Head, he's a perfect. He's a watermelon head. But no dummy. But think of this. Think how bad they are. Think how evil they are. You're all fathers and your mothers and your children of great people, and all of the people are represented here. Think how bad they are. They make up a story that's false. It's now been admitted to be false. The FBI is the last one to tell us that. But it's now admitted, even in the newspapers, even by the people back there, they will not fight it. They make up. Now think of this, but think of this. So they make up a story about Russia. Just so you know, I was tougher in Russia than any president by far. I'm the one that stopped Nord Stream 2, the pipeline. I'm the one that did the big sanctions. And I guarantee you one thing.
Finally, a non-political, non-partisan American president that is engaging in non-divisive speech.
Tougher than me, but I also got along with them. And that's a good thing. You know, getting along with other countries is a good thing, not a bad thing. But think of it. So they make up a story, Russia.
Fucking Biden is so annoying with how divisive he is.
So that when they lost, they could say, it was Russia. I'm saying, what the hell did Russia have to do with it? It was Russia. Okay, so Adam Schiff knows it's a fake story. He made it up with other people. They know it's a fake. And I see Adam Schiff go solemnly to the microphones in the Capitol building and stand there so sad and say, Donald Trump Jr. will be going to prison because of what he did with Russia. Now think of it. He knows the story's a scam. He knows the story's a fake. And he wants my son, who's a good kid, he wants my son to go to prison over something that they made up, that they know is a phony story and has now been, as they say, fully debunked. In other words, it was a totally, and he's standing before microphones with many of those people standing there, and they can't get enough, saying that my son is going to prison. And I then call my son, I say, Don, are you okay? What's going on? What's going on? Think of this if you're a parent. Think of it. My son's going to prison on something that they made, which is a total hoax. These are bad people. They're trying to destroy our country, and we can't let it go on any longer because we have too much work to do.
That's the biggest lie Donald Trump has ever told on this podium, is that he called his son or even cared about his well-being in any meaningful capacity at any point in his life, okay? I'm not even kidding.
These state attorney generals, if I fly over a state, they send me before a grand jury.
That's never
this
happened.
Trumpy's up there. Let's see, what can we do with a grand jury? I've been going through this for 6 years now. Local Democrat DA.
It's a bigger lie than saying that you can avoid the ads at the top of the hour without subscribing. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. And if you want an uninterrupted broadcast experience, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, or by getting gifted a sub. If you're lucky, that is. You know what I mean? That's a bigger lie. I am I-Ty. Thank you for the 5 tier 1 gifted subs. Bro is 19. Thank you. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Trump when the teleprompter doesn't scroll. I love that. Oh my God, look at that. Doggy Dad Steve's Love Glove.
They want to stop us from completing our mission to bring back American values, secure.
That name is so nasty,
borders. Dude. Millions and millions of people are pouring into our country. Nobody has any idea where they're from. Last month, 129 countries were represented. They're emptying their prisons into the United States of America.
Trump is
they
looking
know
good,
we'll
yes.
continue to
He's
fix
looking hot.
America's trade
And I'm not
deals,
just saying that because I'm
continue
biased.
to lower taxes. Nobody gave tax decreases like Trump, bigger than the Reagan cuts. And lower regulations that created all
he
of
lost
those
some weight.
jobs.
He's looking
Defend and
sexy as a
protect our
motherfucker. Let's
police
be
and our
real.
military. We have to protect our
Let's
police.
be open.
You know,
Let's be
our
honest.
Police want to
He's
protect
looking
us.
sexy.
They're stymied from doing it. We have to protect our police. They know we're going to reclaim our energy independence. We're going to save our Second Amendment, which is under siege.
That's true. True, it's under siege. It's under
Rebuild
attack.
our manufacturing base, just like I was doing. In other words, they know that we're going to make America great again. You know, we had a different saying because after we did so well, we were all set. And we had a statement, remember, keep America great. But after they destroyed it, I'd love to use it.
Newsmax is 18K Andy, bro. They washed.
MAGA. You agree?
The MAGA economy
I don't
is
know,
in
Doug.
shambles. They fumbled the bag big time,
I don't know,
boys.
CAG. CAG wasn't the same as MAGA. CAG. Keep America great. The problem I had, though, wasn't the fact that CAG can't compete with MAGA. The real problem I had that we can't use the word keep America great because they've destroyed our country.
Oh, so it's
So
back
we
to
can't
MAGA.
keep it great because it's not great right now. Our country is a laughingstock. Our leaders are a laughingstock. You know, we just sent another $13 billion to Ukraine. That gets us close to $80 billion. Now, well, it angers me more for a different reason. It would have never happened before. Putin knew he wouldn't have done it. He said, Vladimir, you're not going to do that, Vladimir. He knew that. He knew it. He knew it. But he did it as soon as the election was rigged and it was considered over. I don't know if it's ever going to end if you look at what's gone on, because more and more facts are coming out, like the FBI with Facebook the other day. Can you believe? But you know what? Our country, it would have been so inappropriate to say, keep America great, because who the hell wants to keep our country the way it is right now? I don't. But together we have easily beaten every single witch hunt in the past. Think of that. But
Think
the
of it,
time
but
and
not
the
too
money
hard.
and the effort it takes.
Don't think about
And
it
now
too
we
hard.
will likewise
But think
do
of
that
it.
in the future if they continue their craziness. And if they don't stop, That's all they're good at is disinformation. They put out disinformation. You know, when I heard about Russia, was right after I came down that beautiful golden escalator. First lady, I said, you'll be a great first lady. She has been a great first lady. Yeah. She's been a great first lady. They love our first lady. But people would come up to me. This was right at the beginning, and right after the escalator ride, there people go, sir, do you know anything about Russia? No, young guys come up, beautiful staffers. There are a lot of them here right now and here, all over the place, that just came up to me. You won Pennsylvania by a lot, sir. That's right. You're right about that. Doug, I think at 9 o'clock in the evening, we were 950,000 votes up with 73% of the vote cast. All of a sudden, around 3:02 or something, the equipment closed down. It all closed down. And then you had that massive spike. Remember the spike that went to heaven and came back? It should have gone to hell and come back. And all of a sudden, we were tied. And then all of a sudden, we lost by a whisper, a rigged election. But the people would come up. Some of them are here. Sir, it's such an honor to meet you, sir. Sir, could I ask you a question? Yeah, what is it? Do you know anything about Russia? Say, no, not really. I know probably less than you know. But I have a lot of common sense, and I know how to defend our country. And I'll end up being friendly with them, and we'll do just fine. Then a month later, another one came up. Hello, Uncle Sam. Look at it. Stand up, Uncle Sam. Great people. Great people. Then a month later, another young person came up, a little naive, and said, and it was actually it was cute. He said, oh, sir, it's such an honor. We talked for a couple of minutes. He said, sir, can I ask you one question? It's been bothering me. Yeah, what is it? Do you know anything about Russia? And then again and again, and after about 5 or 6 times, do you know anything about Russia? I looked at my people, my top people that are a little older. I said, what the hell is going on with Russia? This is all I knew. What was going on? It was a scam. And we took 2.5 years to win. But all of that time and effort and money and the corruption and the people that were in charge of that scam are horrible. And they're the same people that we have now. They never leave. They never leave. And if we would have had an attorney general with courage instead of somebody that was afraid to be impeached, sir, I don't want to be impeached, we would have gotten to the bottom of it very quickly. And we've been waiting for Durham for a long time. Durham, please come in and give us your work, please. Durham, we got to get Durham going here.
What do you mean? Dr. Ross
But
says this is my endorsement. I'm going to lose. This is the only
This
shot
is
he has
a
of winning,
struggle
brother.
for the very fate of our republic. Our movement is fighting against a corrupt group of unelected tyrants who believe they can wield absolute power over you with the help of a willing and very corrupt media. They think the deep state, not the citizens, should be the true masters of this country.
There you go.
On our watch, we will never let that happen, and we will never let it happen. Even though we're going to be gone, we're going to set this country up so strong and so powerfully then we may not be here.
such
At
a
least some
sweet
of the older
note.
ones that I love you all,
As
but
the
we're going to have
millennials
the
would call
country
this
set up
a
properly.
pupperino?
Like it was
A
before
pupperino,
the
a
COVID
heckin'
came in,
pupperino?
before the
Pupper.
China dust came in.
That's right, guys. It wasn't enough that one
And
guy
even
was
after
watching,
we
the true
handed
savior of
off-
the white race. We needed two, baby.
Where we had a higher stock market.
Ted
'Cause we did
Nivision.
it twice. But we had
He's a
a
comedian,
higher stock
folks.
market
Hey guys, what's
on
up? I
January
make
20th
jokes.
than we did.
From
Think
the
of it.
wonderful state
It's
of
so cold, Handel. I hate to
Massachusetts.
even use the term.
Lots
It's
of
so
liberals
ridiculous.
out there, like
It's
Mitt
so
Romney,
ridiculous to have to
a
use that
rhino.
term.
But
But Teddy's one of the-
The
comes
market was
from-
higher than it
But
was
Teddy's a good
just
one. He's
prior
one of
to
the good
COVID
ones.
Coming into our country, we did an incredible job.
Wow, this is a
Incredible job.
ridiculous hat.
But we have no choice.
Ridiculously
in 2022
American, you
and
mean?
2024, we have to smash.
Ridiculously
the grip of
cool.
this
Like,
Like, it
vile
doesn't
and
feel like it's that
vindictive
big when you hand it
political
to me, and then I
class.
look in the
We
camera,
have to
and
clean
No, it
house
is
in
gigantic.
Washington,
It is a-
D.C.,
this is a
and we have to
massive-
restore
No, it's comically
government
large.
for the people.
Perfect.
What's he talking about?
Just the same shit that he's been saying for the past 4 years, like uninterrupted.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much. We have a bingo that we normally play, but I haven't even done that, to be honest.
And if we do not,
really
our
getting that
republic
old?
and indeed our country
Well,
will
yeah,
be
I mean,
destroyed.
the person who made it, the
We will
person who
never
made
be
the bingo
able
is like a
to do
Zoomer,
what is
but
called a comeback. You won't be able to do it. It'll never come back again. It's so
I'm
fragile.
nervous. I've never been on
you
this
know?
stream before. What
It's
do
so
you usually say
fragile,
when
you
he's
will
like,
never
oh,
bring it
oh,
back
he's
again.
he's got gold coins?
Remember
Well, that's
the
Newsmax.
campaign, I
Newsmax
used to
is
say if
promoting
these
it.
Oh,
people
this is
get in, we're going
Newsmax?
to end up with
Newsmax trying to make as much
Venezuela
money as
on
they can off of
steroids. I said
Trump
it many, many times.
right now because they've
I
been
never thought it was
suffering.
much of a possibility.
Yeah, they've been having a hard
but
time.
I never knew people could cheat like that.
Gold
Not
coins.
Like
Your
that.
chat's loving the gold coins.
Last week,
So,
weirdo,
chat, when he's got people
he's a
on here, what do
weirdo.
they usually do?
Mark
They just kinda,
Zuckerberg
they
came
just
to the
kinda
White
sit there and
House,
be like,
kissed my ass.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this is
Kissed
okay.
my ass. Sure, I'd love to
You
have
know,
dinner.
I didn't know
Sure,
this
I'd love
before
that
because
dinner. I'd love to bring my
came
lovely
over to your
wife.
place, a week
All right,
ago.
Mark,
we
come on
played
in.
basketball, and when I
Sir,
walked
you're
in
number
here,
one on-
you guys don't understand how ridiculous this room is. He has like 7 different cameras that you guys don't even see.
Well, they're closed. They're turned off right now because the power supply was like fucking up. But he's gonna show you Joe Rogan. Sorry in advance. No, hot girls come over and I show them Joe Rogan. Right now, we're just doing Trump because Trump is our big beautiful boy. He's the real president. So we're kind of
And I'm a
watching
hot
that,
boy.
and that's what we're. I thought that this would be over by the time he got here, but unfortunately, his speech started.
Still going. He's still
Still going,
He's got
so
more stuff to say.
He's
you know?
got a lot more stuff to say. So we're gonna keep watching this and chime in, and
Okay.
you will understand the perspective of a true American because you came to California and you're a bit of a godless lib now. And
Yeah, I pay lots in taxes.
yeah,
They're sucking me dry over here.
yeah. So he is just here to promote Mehmet Öz, a Turkish man running for Pennsylvania Senate against John Fetterman, who I support, obviously. Because it's a battle of my two different characteristics. I'm Turkish, but also I'm a big boy, and John Fetterman's a big boy.
You are a big boy.
John Fetterman's a big boy as well. He's like 6'8", looks like a fucking, he just looks like a mechanic,
Yeah.
or like a wrestling guy. So I'm preferring the big boy here instead of the Turk,
Do you think he's got you beat on like speed to crush a watermelon?
probably. I will right now. I don't think he can crush
He's got
anything
some
because
nice-
he's got
his
fucking.
thighs are out right now, guys. They're
Yeah, I got some meaty ones.
they're nice.
But yeah, last time you were here, we played basketball together,
Oh
and
yeah, dude, and the people we played with, they're all just shredded. They are.
oh yeah, my trainers, they're
yeah.
fucking
Oh, those
disgusting.
they're your trainers?
Yeah, the two shredded ones were my trainers. The tall Asian kid is another client of theirs that we all play basketball with.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's why they were so shredded. They weren't like
Oh yeah, I thought it was just kind of like their thing. Well, because they had just come,
No.
it was like they showed up to basketball and they were ready to like go hard in basketball, and they had just come from surfing, and then I was like, okay, so damn, all right, this is gonna be tough. And then like at the end of it, like you and I we were both like hands on our knees, like just
they
heaving.
were, but they were still going. They did.
God.
One of them actually went to go fucking rock climbing after
After?
that. Yeah, because they're freaks. Anyway, let's keep watching this. Let's keep watching a Big Beautiful Boy because there's a lot of people who are saying we're missing
That we
Trump
have
right now.
never
They
seen
love Trump
before
as
in
much
our
as I
country.
do.
Yeah.
According to pollsters,
And you save that good
it
stuff
made a
for the
10
podcast,
to 20
Okay.
point
which Ted is
difference,
here for, by the
not
way.
even
Hell yeah.
including all of the other
Theodore,
totally
he's here for the
determinative
podcast,
evidence
folks.
of
We had to
illegality
speak words.
that was found having
He's
to
gonna
do
say the
with
best words. He
2020
knows the best
presidential
words.
election
We had to
scam,
speak words that,
including
frankly,
ballot
not a lot of people are
stuffing
going to
and
like.
not adhering to the laws, rules, and regulations of state legislatures, which is totally illegal. They just did whatever they
Totally.
wanted to do. And frankly, Republicans locally that ran things in a lot of states should be ashamed of themselves.
Is Will coming?
Yeah, later.
Should be
I saw
ashamed of
the
themselves.
I saw the
And a
last
guy
pod
like Mitch
when you had
McConnell,
Superman on. They
who allowed this stuff to
Will
happen,
was not there.
should be scorned.
Oh.
He should be scorned. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and now our country is
He's
being
got like a certain
destroyed
position he likes to
by
like.
people who
He does
got
this
into
thing with his
office
like
through
neck
cheating
and then
Yeah.
his like
Oh, he
shoulder.
does.
He's got like a little bit of
Now watch.
sass to him
The
whenever
cameras
he's
will all
like
turn
kind of
off as soon
settling
as
into
I say
whatever
that,
Oh, yeah.
because
he's
they're not
talking
allowed
He's
about.
about to see the most unhinged shit.
The cameras.
Yeah, yeah. You know that once he
I think-
settles into sass mode, he's about to
They'll all
just say
turn
some
off.
fucking
They don't wanna hear
insane.
that.
stuff.
I think
don't
it's
wanna
a,
hear
the-
that.
it's
You
a
know
teleprompter
why?
lean, to be honest. It's probably.
But Republican leadership just
Someone
doesn't
says the
fight
lifted
because
shoes.
in
Yeah,
many
yeah, his lifted
cases
shoes are getting loose.
they are intimidated and they're afraid. They're actually
His shoes
afraid.
are like basically
fuck,
like
we missed it.
heels.
See, you could have seen our
must
first-
get tougher and stronger
Our
and
first
fast.
conservative troll
Oh yeah.
says the virgin ass looking boy.
Hey, listen, asshole. I have a lot of sex.
I've had sex before.
By the way, I'll tell you a guy
I know
that fought.
I know how to
In
have
fact, that's why
sex.
he's
I
here
know,
today as
and
your nominee.
With
frankly,
your mom.
Doug
Oh,
Mastriano.
up
He
top.
fought.
I just can't.
Well, come on.
I just
He
can't
fought.
high
You
five.
gonna leave me hanging?
You want me to? You want?
But
I
he
can't.
was dealing with
I
the
just
That you
rhinos
did
and
that.
all
Just,
sorts
I'm
of
sorry,
crap.
it's fine. I can't just high five
Doug, you
to
fought
be
like
having sex with my own
Very few
mom.
people.
No,
That's really why
I'm
it's here,
having
'cause
sex with
everybody
his
saw that
mom.
he
Oh,
fought.
okay.
You know,
All
after
right,
people
all right.
figured it out,
There we go.
they
Yeah,
all
so
ran
you
on the
interpreted.
basis of we're going to
I
stop.
thought you were,
But they were not there. He was there at the beginning,
Just gotta
and
make
the
sure this
people
is on right.
understood it. So it's a big deal. And by the way, I saw a poll today, Doug,
Like
that you're tied
runs
or
into
up
the back
1
of the
point.
chair. Oh, okay. This is nice.
Yeah.
Just so you know, again, all they do well is cheat on elections and use disinformation. So when he's running, he's got a big
Oh, he's
base,
still saying they're
and he
cheating
won
on
by a lot.
elections?
Oh,
He won
he
by
hasn't
even more
stopped.
when I endorsed him. But
Dude.
that's
I mean, how could you?
But he
How
won
could you
by a
though?
lot.
That's the worst
And
thing
you know
could
what?
have done. You stole the election
They
from him.
said
He's
this
got
guy
commitment
You
Shapiro is a
did.
lightweight. They said the following. They saw he was going to win. He was doing well. He was way up, and he had a big base, and they don't like that. So what do? The one we really want to run against is Doug Mastriano. That's the one. Well, they say that on every time they have somebody that's going to kick their ass. They go out and they say, the one we want to run against. The one person they didn't want to run against is Doug Mastriano. It's disinformation.
But they did pay. They did put a lot of money into Doug Mastriano's campaign. So
I
the
kept
Democrats
hearing
did.
it. I'd
They're
be out,
fucking
I'd see the
stupid.
people going crazy. For
Oh, is that
Doug.
like the thing where they're like,
incredible.
oh,
Why-
this dude's like fucking insane.
Yeah.
There's no, surely there's, well, isn't that how this guy,
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
that how this guy
No,
became?
that's exactly what happened with Trump. Yeah, it's called the Pied Piper strategy, and it was a gigantic failure when Donald Trump won. And they did that again with Doug Mastriano for governor in Pennsylvania.
True. He was right there from the beginning, day
Who
one.
do you think's going to win?
Got to fight the
Oh,
Republicans and the
I think
Democrats.
Dr. Oz
Gotta
is
fight
so
people.
bad that, like,
American
honestly, I think
elections should be
Fetterman is
determined
kind of
only by
carrying.
the American people.
So maybe Doug Mastriano might
and
lose
that
as
did
well.
not happen in 2020. And I'm just talking
Oh, they got a
FBI,
book,
but there are
too.
many, many
Dick
other things.
Morris.
We won't go into it. The Mar-a-Lago raid was
Free
a desperate
offer,
effort
save
to
20
distract
$28.
from Joe
How
Biden's
expensive is this
record
book?
of misery
The
and
return.
failure.
How
The many
expensive is this book that you're
disasters that our
saving
country and
$28?
the
What
world
is the
are
book,
now
like
suffering
$30? Like
would
what?
Never,
Why does it say
ever
9/11
have
after it?
happened if I was in the
The
White House.
return
All of
9/11?
this stuff would never.
Dick Morris is bringing
Dick
back,
Morris is saying,
You
like, we're
could
going to do
take
9/11
the
too, Electric
five worst
Boogaloo.
presidents in American
bringing
history
back fucking 9/11,
and put
dude.
them together, and they would not have done the
mean-
damage Joe Biden has done to our country in less than 2 years.
September.
They could not have done it. 2 years ago, when I was in office,
So how do you read your chat?
gas was $1.87.
Very carefully.
Very carefully.
No, I mean, right now I'm not. But usually I
And we
just.
weren't talking about going to all electric
Now that you
cars,
mentioned it,
which
they're
are
going to go
twice
even
as
more
expensive.
unhinged. Look,
Yeah,
I mean, the
no,
problem
the
is, a
emote
friend of
amount
mine
is
wanted
gonna-
to do something for the environment. He went out and bought a
they love
electric car.
they love being platformed. They love being
and he
like
made
the
a
center of
certain
attention.
trip.
So they'll like
I won't
post
say from where.
the sussy emo and go
I
read
won't say
this,
from where.
You should
and
tell
then
them.
it's the booty shake.
And
Look,
he's a good person.
Oh, yeah,
He
no,
wants to
I've
do
seen
well.
that.
Now
Read
we
this.
understand.
I've seen that where they're like,
So-
Ted,
My ass.
quickly-
And he bought an
quickly,
electric
Ted, look
car.
at
He made the
yeah,
trip
Ted, look
often
here.
from
Yeah,
Kentucky
I saw that
to
earlier.
Washington, and he made it. And,
And
he'd
then
drive
once you
down,
recognize it, they'll
put
be
the
like,
car
oh
away and
shit,
drive
I'm gonna
back.
become part of the joke. I'm
He
gonna
was
add
getting
more
like
of it.
38 miles a gallon, and it was fine.
You should
And
tell
then
them
he
that
goes
you're,
to hybrids and all
you're
the other
friends with
things they
them.
can do.
I
But
think
he
that would
wanted
go
to go
over
all
really well. I
electric
think you should
because he
Oh,
wants
yeah?
to
invest in
save
your
our country.
parasocial
Wants
relationship.
I
to
tell them
save
all the
the
time.
atmosphere.
Really?
And
Yeah,
he
I'm
called
friends
me
with
and
them.
You
said,
sign
"I'm
off with like,
exhausted,
love
Warren."
you,
He
my
said,
little
"This damn
Hassanis.
trip
yeah, and then I
took me
tell them
forever.
that I fucked their
I'd drive
moms.
for 2 hours and then I'd have to
That's a
have my
good,
car
yeah. That's a
charged.
good combo to have.
And in
because
two
it's like,
cases,
you know,
I
a little bit
couldn't
of
find
this,
a
a little bit
place
of
to
that.
charge
It's
it,
like,
but even
We're
if
not
I
just
could,
friends, but I'm
it
also
took
having
me
sex with
more
their
time
mom,
to
and I'm also your
charge the
stepfather
damn
now.
car
I'm your
that I
father
could
figure.
spend in it
I'm the father
driving.
that stepped up.
to my mom, they're like a
He said,
legion
"It
of
took me 2.5
stepdaddy. They're like a
times."
legion of.
Look, they're all people
Please,
clapping. Every time I
please,
fuck their
let's
mom, they
get
people
rid of this
clap.
stuff. Please.
Is that your like
And you
main?
see
Is
in
that your
California,
thing? It's like, oh, it's
you
not.
see
Oh,
what's
I can't.
happening
Like
there where
they
they're
sign in the
going,
stream. They're
"All
like, oh man, I
electric
can't wait
cars."
until Hasan says
Number
he's
one,
gonna
people
fuck
can't
someone's
afford 'em.
mom.
Pretty
Number
much.
two, the batteries are made all in China.
I want to see
all
a
the earth, the rare earth comes out
fuck
of
someone's
China.
mom compilation.
But that's why they make alt accounts so that they get
And
yelled at. It's like-
interesting. we
think
have
I've brain
all the
broken
gas
an
and the
entire
gasoline,
generation.
The gasoline,
You've
when
cucked
it's
them
refined,
all.
we
You
have it
cucked
all
them
right
all
under our.
for
We
their
don't have any of
moms.
the other stuff.
'Cause they
And if we
wanted to
did,
fuck
our
their own moms.
environmentalists
It's
wouldn't let us take it.
weird.
It all comes out of
Oedipus?
China and a little bit in the Congo, which has, guess who controls the Congo? China. We play right into their hands. You see where I'm getting a lot of great press because I told Germany, don't make a deal with Russia
Dude.
on the pipeline. And they said, oh, that's
That was
so
probably
funny.
the
I
strongest
actually
China
sent, during a
pronunciation
meeting,
I've heard from
G7,
Trump.
I sent Angela Merkel,
Angela!
a white flag of surrender. She said, Donald, but why do you send me this white flag? I said, Angela, because you're going to surrender. 75% of your energy is coming from Russia.
Breaking news.
If you look back over the decades,
GOP stop destruction of America.
Russia and Germany haven't done too well together.
I was seeing something. That,
When there's a war, when
people
there's
were
a
mad
problem,
about,
they'll just turn off
Biden's speech the other day. That
Nord
was like
Stream
people were
2.
pissed
He was
about
very
And
scary
Angela,
in that red
You're
light
not going to be
Yeah.
able to defend
I got
yourselves.
scared.
Oh, that will never happen. Well, that was about 2 years
Because
ago.
I'm a patriotic American,
The
I
only
got
thing,
scared
never
because
thought it
I
was gonna
felt like
happen
he was
this
saying
fast.
like
And now they're giving me great.
wants to,
Remember,
like-
I made this
he wants
speech at
to
the
he wants to
United
arrest
Nations,
white
and
Americans
the
in the
German
suburbs.
delegation was
That's
all
what he was saying
smiling.
to me.
They thought it was so
Have you seen Man
funny.
in the High
They're
Castle?
not smiling
Yeah.
now. He said
Well,
it better
no,
than me.
a couple
They're not
episodes.
smiling.
You know,
But
some
now
of the
gas
stuff that
is
Biden was saying
$5 and
reminded me-
$6 and $7,
Exactly.
and it's
Man
going to
in
be
the High
going
Castle.
up.
Yeah.
Think of it.
Red-
Yeah,
And
like
they
when he
brag
said, like when he
because it
said,
came down
some
slightly. You know, it
Republicans,
came
not
down
all,
about
but some
42
Republicans are going really crazy.
Yeah.
We
They
actually
need to
had
stop
it down
it.
at one point to $1.42.
That was really
Remember
scary.
that? But I had to
Yeah,
get
no,
it a
it
little
sounded
up.
like
We
he
had to
was
let
getting
the
ready to
oil companies make a
Yeah.
couple of bucks.
Shoot.
When
I
he
didn't
said
wanna
that, I
wipe out
thought
the
like,
oil
oh,
companies.
he's going to use the
But
87,000
what's
IRS
happened
agents
is
to come
one
to
of
my
the big
house and kill
reasons
me.
for inflation
Yeah,
is
that's a
what
lot of
this guy
IRS
has
agents
done
too, and you know,
with energy, because
there's
energy's
nothing more
so
scary than
all-encompassing.
it's
so big.
a
With the
very
help of
large
Pennsylvania
extended
energy
group
workers-
of mathematicians
Did you get screwed or
descending
what?
upon you.
Remember, I told you they were going to
Yeah,
do
they
this
got
to
pens.
You're gonna start talking about
you. He
long
lied
division.
during the debate.
I prefer
he
short
said,
division.
No, I would never do that.
That's it. You're going to jail, buddy.
The first thing he
Good
did
luck.
It's
practically
like I like 9 divided by 3,
was end the
4,
Keystone
clearly.
Pipeline,
And it's
right?
like
That was
these
like
guys
the
coming in
first
and
thing he
saying like
did.
9 divided by 3 is 3.
And you know, all those workers voted for me, but the head of
You
the
fucking hate
union
nerds in here, chat.
voted for. I wonder
Oh,
is
yeah,
he
they
still
know
the head?
that.
Check it out. He ought to be fired real fast. The Keystone Pipeline would have been great. A lot of jobs. It would have done a good job.
Literally
With
3
the help
jobs
of
for the upkeep
Pennsylvania
and maintenance of
energy
a pipeline
workers,
throughout
under
his
my
lifetime.
leadership, we had
That's bullshit.
American energy independence for the first time ever. ever.
It's also a pipeline for Canadian gas to come into America, so it does nothing
And
for
within
American
a short
energy.
period of time, we would have been energy dominant. We would have been bigger than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined times 2. And now we're beggars.
An insane claim.
We're like a
That
beggar
is
nation.
like such
we
an
gave
intense
you
claim.
Think of that. We're energy beggars.
So
We
he
would have
doesn't
been bigger
use
than
like a
everybody
speech. That's like his whole
combined.
thing.
The
Like he
two
just kind of gets there and
biggest-
starts
the
rambling,
biggest energy
No, I think
suppliers
he's got
combined
some.
times two.
talking
We're
points.
gonna
He's
be
got some talking
energy
points that he's gonna
dominant,
hit,
and
you know
now
what I
we're
mean?
beggars.
Right.
We gave you the largest
Russia
tax cuts
and
and
Saudi Arabia
regulation
combined
cuts
times two.
in
How much?
American
How much
history.
you want one of those
The
Newsmax
radical
caps?
Democrat Congress just passed.
Also, I love the people that they use for this. Like, they're not even trying to put like normal models on there or anything. They're like, we know what our target audience looks like.
Yeah. Susan.
So they
Susan and-
photoshopped. So they
Susan and Greg.
photoshopped this Newsmax hat onto this woman.
Yeah, that one is very clearly photoshopped.
Like this one is actually wearing it, but the other woman definitely photoshopped.
Just like pulled that
been
off of
approved.
like
I'd never heard of
whoever's
this
like
one.
the graphic
They got
designer that
approved
just
to
pulled it
carry
off their mom's
guns.
Facebook or something.
So they can
Yeah.
go after you with guns. You know, they don't want to have guns, but it's okay for the IRS. It's like an army.
Oh, he's talking about
Can
the
you
IRS
imagine
army.
that
Let's
that was
go.
approved, that they allowed that to get through? And all
wonder-
Mitch McConnell
see,
had to do
what I'm
is
curious
waive
about is, like-
the debt ceiling. I'm not approving
why
anything
doesn't he like the IRS
having to
so
do with
much?
debt ceiling unless you drop all this
What-
crap.
what's
$4
Trump's big
trillion
issue with the
worth
Yeah, what the
because
fuck's that
Manchin
about, right?
folded like a dog.
Why
You
would
saw
a
that.
scummy real estate
And I always
developer
said
not
he
like
would.
the
I told
IRS?
you he would. He did.
So weird. Well,
And
there's
West
a
Virginia,
separate
which
court
voted
case
for
right
me,
now.
45 points.
About
I
his
was
tax
up
returns,
45
so
points.
that could have
West
something to do
Virginia
with
is
it.
not happy with
Oh,
Joe
I like that
Manchin
emote.
because he killed coal and they put taxes on coal. Clean, beautiful coal. He killed it. I can't imagine he's going to do well. I don't know what the hell got to him. Under the Trump administration, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world with no inflation. Biden and the
You
Democrat
know what?
Congress
Oh, you know what he talks like?
created the worst inflation
talks
in
like a
50
YouTube
years,
thumbnail.
9.1%. It's going to go a lot
He
higher.
talks like a YouTube
And now
thumbnail.
they
You know
are
what I mean?
making it worse with
Well,
their immoral plan to wipe out
well,
hundreds of
yeah, I
billions
mean,
of
yeah,
dollars of
that.
debt.
But also like
College graduates,
know
think of
what
this.
greatest
How
economy
unfair
in
is
the
it?
history of the
How
world.
unfair is
Or
it to
like
all
the
of those
biggest
people,
this
many of you
times
here,
two multiplied
that paid
by
and worked
3.
so hard.
This
I
is
saw they
the
were
greatest.
doing a story about Pocahontas. That's Elizabeth Warren.
He's talking about Pocahontas.
Elizabed Warren,
And this big
Oh.
strong
Lied about
guy
being-
came
Oh, he
up
calls
to her,
Elizabeth
really
Native
good
American.
looking-
It's pretty. It's a
looking
pretty funny diss.
guy.
It's like I'll let him
And he
have
looks
that.
at it,
He
goes,
has his
well,
moments.
what's
Like it's
going
pretty
on
good.
with this debt? You want to cancel the debt? I've been working my ass off for 12 years, he said.
Clickbait
And I've
speech.
He is
almost
doing
got
clickbait.
my
He
daughter's debt
speaks in
paid off.
clickbait.
I worked weekends, 12 years. My neighbor, he's my friend, but he hasn't worked at all. And now the debt's going to be canceled, but I worked. This is unfair. And then he was not too nice after that, so we'll forget what he said. But he was not too happy. But you can multiply that times millions and millions of people. They paid for it on the backs of hardworking citizens, and they're raising your taxes. Remember this, you don't realize it.
Yeah, those
You're
people
getting
in the
biggest
audience,
tax increase
they don't
in
know what
history.
that
It's all
that old couple
disinformation.
didn't really
They're
know
saying
what was
under,
happening.
Under 400,000. You're getting the biggest tax increase in the history of our country. So enjoy paying it. And you know what it's paying for? Things like that, but the Green New Deal, which is like taking the money and throwing it out the window. And it's actually worse. It's actually like taking the money and destroying our country because it sets us back. Just like Germany. You know, Germany's back to building and opening its plants because they got so screwed up with their green new energy. They got carried away. Windmills all over the place, killing all the birds, destroying all the values of homes, destroying the plains and
Why?
fields.
No,
beautiful plains.
windmills have only
If you
destroyed the
wanna
value
see
of his golf courses.
a
That's
dead
why he
bird
hates them.
cemetery
Oh,
go
really?
under
That's
a
his, like,
windmill
specific
sometime.
grievance.
It's not a pretty sight.
Also,
It's
the bird
also
killing
the
thing is pretty
single
funny.
Most expensive
kill a lot of
form
birds.
of energy
He doesn't give a fuck.
you can get.
He does.
And
Yeah,
all
I would
of
be hard pressed to
those
say
big
that
giant
he
turbines are built
is,
in
a
China
bird.
and Germany to a lesser
What? Yo, he
extent.
hit that
I rebuilt our
weird, bro.
military,
He
including
did it.
our
That was-
nuclear capability, and hope to God we never have to use it.
That was the best one
And the
I've
creation
ever heard
of
him say.
Space
Oh,
Force.
he
Do you see
knows.
what
He
they're
knows the
doing with
memes. He's
Iran?
like self-aware.
Iran was dying to make a
Dude.
deal with me. I would have had a deal done within 1 week.
That was a
after the
strong
election.
note.
And now we're going to pay them hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're going to have nuclear weapons.
He said it
within a
so
short
hard,
period
his
of time.
audience didn't even understand what was going on. They were like,
people
are
are
we
crazy.
supposed to clap for this?
Yeah,
Like, is
was
he
he-
doing
they
the meme
honestly-
or?
Having a
They
stroke.
can't
fuck
be
are we supposed to
stupid.
be doing here?
They must hate our country. They must hate our country.
China.
They surrendered our strength and
I
our
love that.
wisdom, our everything. They turned Afghanistan into the greatest humiliation our country has ever seen. I believe it was the most humiliating time that our country's ever gone through. 13 dead soldiers, but they never mentioned those
Leah Michelle
soldiers
does
who
not know
lost
how to
their
read.
legs and arms and face.
You know that meme?
They were
I
obliterated.
have seen
Nobody
that.
talks about
Are you a
them, and there
Gleek?
were many.
I'm not
Nobody
a Gleek,
talks
but
about them.
it just
We
keeps
left American
it keeps showing up on my
citizens
TikTok for
behind.
you page, and then I
And we left
like don't know who she is
$85
necessarily, but
billion
I'll
worth of the
I'll
best
watch them all the way through, so then it just keeps
military
showing up.
equipment in the entire
Hell yeah.
world, planes and
There's
tanks
there's
and
kind of a strange
goggles.
amount of evidence against her ability to read.
No,
700,000
I'm not entirely
rifles
certain
and
she knows how to read.
AK-47s.
I wonder if she's playing into it though.
We left it all behind. Think of this. 70,000 vehicles. There's not a used car lot in the country that has probably 500 vehicles. 70,000 vehicles we left behind. Some of those vehicles cost millions of dollars because they're armor plated with 6 inches of steel. We left it all behind. I built much of it because I rebuilt
Oh, he
our
built it
entire
himself?
military. We left, think of it, $85 billion worth of military equipment. And you know, I saw a number the other day. The second largest arms dealer in the entire world is Afghanistan. Because they're selling, because they don't need 700,000 rifles and guns. 700,000.
Afghanistan is the Gary
They
V
need
of the Middle East.
40,000 or 20,000. What
They got a
were we
yard
thinking?
sale worth
you
of,
don't take the military out
Worth the
first.
stuff to sell.
And remember
That's what
this
he's
in
saying.
Afghanistan. 18 months, we didn't lose one soldier. You heard the numbers on Philadelphia? 18 months. I spoke to Abdul. I said, Abdul, don't do it, Abdul, don't do it. Don't do it. But why, sir? Why do
Abdul.
you send me a picture of my house? I said,
What are you
Abdul,
looking at?
that's a different story. Don't do it. And we were fine. Remember, they said, why is he speaking to the Taliban? Because that's where the
Tell me,
problem
bro.
was, right?
I could in
That's
this
where the
moment.
problem was.
Don't do it.
18 months.
I could
and
embarrass
Biden actually
you
said it
so
a couple
bad.
of months ago. Well, I'll say one thing. We didn't lose
Embarrass
one
you
soldier in 18 months. And they're
I'll
screaming
tell you
at
about it
us,
on the podcast.
Don't
All right.
take it back. You're not supposed to say that because it's good.
No, Abdul.
We didn't lose a soldier in 18 months. They were so afraid. They didn't want anything. We could have gotten out.
So I'm
wanted
getting
to get out
stage
more than
fright here.
anybody. I'm the one that got it down to
Don't worry, let him
But
do the
also,
talking.
should have
Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Is that what you do?
because
You
of
just kind of like
China.
let them speak?
Bagram Air
Sometimes.
Base cost billions and billions of dollars years ago to build. It's 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. We should have never left without keeping Bagram. What a shame. The most humiliating time. I believe, actually, that probably Putin went in because when he saw the incompetence of that, he said, this is going to be easier than I thought.
Hey, chat.
And now we have a war
Did
between
you know
Russia
that you
and
can
Ukraine
put
with
anything as a
potentially
website as long
hundreds
as
of
you end it
thousands
with
and even
.news.cn
millions
and
of
Twitter
people
will
are going
flag
to
it as
die?
being from
That would
Chinese
have
state
never
media?
happened if I was your president. It would have
Wait,
never
really?
happened. I
Yeah, look at
promise you. I
look at
talked
my
to
alt
him.
account.
Vladimir, you
my alt
can't
Twitter,
do that.
Ted
Can't
Niv.
do it, Vladimir. Those beautiful golden.
Oh
You
shit.
can't do it, Vladimir. He would never have done it.
Fuck. I don't know how I did that.
He would never
on
have done
accident.
it. He said, well, I sort of believe
What's
you
your alt
because you
account?
actually
Ted
did kill
Niv.
me on Nord Stream 2. Nobody thought that was
Where I made that
possible.
Mr. Beast
I
Squid Game
ended Nord.
tweet
Can you
that
imagine?
you were jealous
Biden
of.
came in and he opened up the pipeline. I ended it. Then he say, oh, Trump was soft on Russia. I was soft. The only one that doesn't think that is Putin. He didn't think I was too soft with the sanctions,
You
but
see that
think
at
of
the
it, the
bottom there?
biggest deal they've ever done
That's
is Nord
awesome.
Stream 2
Yeah, so
that
just
nobody
put
ever heard of until I came along. They were building this massive pipeline. Nobody ever heard of Nord
and
Stream
then it says
2
it's from a
till I
Chinese
came
state
along.
affiliated
We
media
created
website.
the
so
safest
funny.
border in United States history.
That's a retweet. Damn,
We
you got some
ended
popping.
catch and release. we
so I
deported
tweeted it on my
record
main,
numbers of
and it was
illegal
not.
aliens,
It wasn't
gang
doing. The
members,
tweet was.
and we
It
built
was bombing
hundreds and
because I think
hundreds of
Twitter was like
miles of
actually
border
thought it
wall,
was Chinese
despite
state
2.5
media. I had
years of
tweeted out, and then I started like
Democrat-inspired
getting nervous
lawsuits.
that
We had
like they were
11
going to take away
lawsuits.
my
I won every one of
verification
them.
They're
badge
gonna
or
blacklist
something.
you.
So then I was like, but I still need to get something out of this. So I deleted
you know, we
it, took the
completely
screenshot and
finished
posted it on my alt.
our original plan for the
You
wall.
went around the
and they came to me,
blockers.
sir, we have some other
Yeah.
sanctions.
I'm
I said,
afraid
"Let's
I'm gonna have
do
to
it. Come
report
on,
you
let's
to
go
Twitter for that.
fast." Then we added much more
Don't
wall,
you dare
200
talk to
miles.
Jack.
And we almost
I
got
talk
that
to Jack every
finished on
day.
top of what we
Bet you
did.
do.
And I figured that this guy would finish it up.
Dude, you're in.
And
That's me,
not only
dude.
didn't he finish when Texas
That's
wanted
you.
to
That's
use
not just
the
you.
stuff that was
That's
sitting
you
there ready to
today.
be
Yeah.
As in like
erected. It
somebody
was gonna be
is
erected very
like
quickly,
actually
very
got like
quickly,
a
very
good
effectively.
screenshot of
Great-
you and
great
then like
wall.
went
It's
into
exactly what
Photoshop
Border
today
Patrol wanted.
and
I
did
said,
that.
"What do
That's
you
exactly
want?"
what
This is
happened.
Exactly. They want steel.
That's what
They
my
wanted concrete,
psychotic
they
fan
wanted
base does
rebar,
to cancel me.
heavy-set
Can
rebar.
somebody get a
They wanted
Photoshop of
exactly,
me
and they
like
have to be able to see through
like
so we
this
see
in
what's
the
happening
crowd?
on the other side. I wanted to just give them nice, big, beautiful concrete plank, but they didn't want that. So we gave them exactly what they wanted, and they could have been finished in a few weeks. And not only didn't they give this free to Texas, where Texas could have put it up, they actually took it away and put it in a secure area where nobody can take
There
it.
we
There you go.
That's
All right,
just a terrible
Photoshoppers,
thing.
get to it.
3 weeks was all it would have taken to complete the job. Our country is paying a terrible price for the rigged election. I ran twice, I won twice, and did much better the second time than I did the first. Getting millions
You
and
still
millions
lost,
more votes
but-
in 2020 than we got in 2016.
You know, he's a positive guy. He likes to look at the silver lining. He's like, I got more votes.
I got a lot of votes.
Lizzie Gobbler, thank you for the 5 get the subs.
You know that.
Glizzy Gobbler.
Doug knows
Dude, I
that.
have insane usernames in this
We
chat.
got
Don't get me
millions
started.
and more
Fucking
votes. I tell
awful
people.
username.
Yeah,
There's a
oh, what
username
great job
Trump's
you did. I was
Mar-a-Lago
being interviewed
made.
by this fake news reporter.
There's one that's like,
And he said, what
Trump's little
happened
titty
in
milker.
2020? I said, well, we did
no,
much
there's
better,
one,
actually.
that's a good
We
one too.
got millions
me
more
Trump.
votes. We got the
Leftist
largest
username, thank you for the 5 get the
number of
subs.
votes of any sitting
There's one that's
president in
like-
history.
That's a funny one.
They said, you know, I never thought
There's
of it
one
that
like
way. I said, why don't
Nelk
you start thinking
Boys,
about that way?
Steve's
Got a rigged election.
dog milking
And
glove or
likewise,
something.
getting more votes than.
Wow.
Think of it.
That's a mouthful.
There's never
The
been a
Chillennial.
president, a sitting president.
Thank
got
you, the
anywhere
Chillennial, for the 5
near-
get the subs.
I think we got like 10 million more votes than Obama.
If you guys
got.
donate 5 get to
Obama,
subs, we get
you
to
know?
read your username.
So popular.
Yeah.
Can you
So
believe that?
popular. He's so popular. They say he's so handsome. Oh, Obama's so handsome.
He did the
He's
Photoshop
such a
already.
great speaker. What does he say?
It's not
That's
as
weak.
good.
Nothing.
That's a weak.
It's not as
And we're
good.
leading
That's weak.
Biden and everyone else, including the Republicans, by record numbers in the polls.
We're looking
So I
for
may
some
just have to
high-quality
do it
Kelly
again.
086,
Maybe, stay
Kenny
tuned.
Taco 69 Lit Fam,
We have to
Gingerbread
do it
Fetus,
again.
Tit Sniffer
that, Oz?
69. Thank you for
Okay,
taking
it.
now that's what I'm talking about.
Benny
Tit Sniffer
Clams.
69 coming in, and he knew he had one that we would be
No, I
happy
know.
with because
They-
he donated the 10 subs.
Yeah. Benny Clams, thank you for the 5 gifted. Gold Gregory, Hunter Biden's crack, thank you for the 5 gifted.
May just have to
that's
do
a
it
good
again.
one. Was he finishing up?
Analingus 9K, oh, he's just getting started. Antifa Mayor, thank you for the 5 gifted.
But first, we have to win a historic victory for the Republican Party this November. Among our
That
highest
whole FBI
priorities must
thing.
be to end the nightmare Joe Biden
going
and
on?
congressional Democrats have created
Dr.
on our
Slippy
southern
Fist.
border, a nightmare. Remember
Thank you
this?
for the
We had
did.
the strongest, best border we ever had 2 years
relate to
ago.
that
Now we have the
username.
worst border. I believe it's worse than any border anywhere in the world.
Slippery fist.
Because no third world country would let people come into their country the way we have. Right here in Pennsylvania last year, 2
Top
illegal
grifter, thank you for
alien
the 5
criminals
five
allegedly
gifted.
brutalized and bludgeoned a man to death on a busy street corner. In Chester County,
yeah.
an illegal alien
This is the
stands
thing. This is the
accused
part of it. This
grabbing
is
a
the part where he
33-year-old
screams bloody
woman
murder
by
by
the hair,
pointing to like
pulling
one
her
random
down and around
undocumented
the
immigrant
ground
caused
and stabbing
crime to
her
be like,
death
this is a
in front of her
massive problem in
7-year-old
America.
daughter and her 3-year-old
Right.
son.
Get new
And
mods,
just a few
bro.
weeks ago, an illegal alien murderer was
Milky,
charged with
Milky.
shooting to death a 76-year-old man from Pennsylvania. He took a walk every morning, and this guy killed him for no reason whatsoever. Didn't know him, didn't do anything, just wanted to kill him.
Well,
The
it wouldn't have
radical
made it all
Democrat
right.
Congress has turned
if
our
you did know
country
him.
into one giant
Wop
sanctuary
Mop
for
420
dangerous
PhD and
criminal
being
aliens.
bald.
We
Hillary's
protect
lost
all
emails.
the
Thank you for the 5 get the
criminals. We don't
subs.
protect our own people. In fact, they
The reason
raid
why
our
it's bullshit
people.
is because
In the
undocumented
Republican
immigrants
Party,
cause
we believe our
infinitely
country
less
should
crime
be a
per capita than
sanctuary
natural-born
for
citizens do.
law-abiding citizens who
Yeah, I
love
mean, like if you think
Like,
about
across
it,
the
like,
board.
like also, like why? Like my question is like, why would they?
Yeah, they don't
Why
want
if
to
they're
fucking...
if they're coming to the country?
if we're
undocumented,
going to
like,
make
why would
America
they?
great
They
again,
worked very hard to get here. They're
our
not going to fuck
first
that up.
Why would
task
they
Oh,
try
shit.
is
to
to
put themselves in the position?
make
like that one?
America
I like that. I
safe
think
again.
that's a
We
good
have to have
one.
a safe country.
That's a good one.
We have to have a safe country. And you know, I told you before I love the fields, but I like
Someone
this
said
better
true. I was
because
born
the
here and I was
air-conditioning
arrested
system- But this air
5
conditioning is not
times.
working
Liar
too
Judas
well.
has killed a lot, and he
About
will do it
100
again.
degrees up here. I'm sweating like a dog, but I'm...
Sweating like a dog. That's a
I'll call
classic.
Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz, am I okay, doctor? Am I okay? He says yes. He says yes. You know, I was on a show years ago, and Dr. Oz, I'm going to introduce him in a second, but I was on a show years ago, and he did like an examination of me. I don't know what the hell I did the show for. I wasn't like even a politician at that point, but he did an examination.
Canadian dildo
and the
lawyer.
word said, he's extremely healthy, really a very, very fine, fit
There's a lot of
man,
political.
but he should lose
Hillary's
20 or
going on
25
Canadian
pounds. I was
dildos,
so angry I didn't
it's good
speak
that
to him.
there's, you know, some people stepping up to represent.
He said he was great, but he could lose a couple of pounds. He's great. He's going to be great.
Yeah, no, he's
Under
not.
Democrat control, the streets of our great cities are drenched in the blood of innocent victims. Much of this
God,
crime
drenched
is caused
in the
by drug
blood of
dealers
innocent victims.
who
Yeah, I
during
mean,
the
dude, these
course
people
of
are
their
fucking
lives will kill an
schizophrenic as a
average of
consequence of like
500
constantly watching Fox News. They
American
think that that's
citizens.
really
Every
what's
drug
happening.
dealer is
I wonder if this dude has
responsible,
ever
and that
introed a
doesn't
speech with
include
blood
what they've
alone
done
moves
to
the wheels
families
of
and people
history.
that haven't died, but
Like what,
families
Dwight
that are
Schrute?
just devastated by what happened to their children.
By
and to
extension.
themselves.
Yeah.
Think of it, 500 people, the average drug dealer. I'm calling for the death penalty for drug dealers, which will, upon its passage,
Oh yeah, he wants to do
reduce
Duterte-style
drug distribution
executions
in
of
our
drug dealers
country
in America.
On day one,
He's like,
75%.
Wait, what did he just say?
he wants to execute drug dealers. Like if you're, you know, if you're a
No
black
more
person
blue
that
ribbon
was caught
committees
holding,
telling us what to
you're
do. You know,
immediately executed.
I was setting them up in the White House. There's a blue ribbon committee headed by
That's pretty.
socialites, and they just
that's
want.
pretty
I mean, look,
intense.
they're very nice people, but
Yeah, but
they
they won't
just
execute
want
the fucking
a little
Purdue family.
publicity
You know
for
what I mean? The number
themselves.
one drug dealers.
They can't deal with the kind of killers that we're talking about. We want the death penalty for drug dealers. And
Mitch
you will
McConnell's neck
save
cussy. Thank you for the
millions
5 get
of
the
lives.
subs.
You know, we're going to lose 250,000 people, I think, this year. You know, just to go off for a second, does anybody mind that I do that? No. Is there any better place to be on a beautiful Saturday evening than a Trump rally?
I can think of so many places, but to those fucking
I don't
Maybe a
think.
Walmart.
sad fools, like, no, this is like literally the best because they love this shit.
This seemed.
This is the most action they're gonna get. It's like farmersonly.com, baby. You know what I mean? This is a fuck fest. Finger scoop the rum and Ligma super spreader. Thank you for the 5 get the subs.
I wonder if people tailgate these kind of things. I assume.
Oh, yeah,
But
no,
just
they
to go
tailgate
for a
like
second,
crazy.
so, you
Get
know, I
like
got to
wasted
know a
and they
lot
show
of
up.
foreign leaders, and let me tell you, unlike our leader, they're at the top of their game. These are like central casting. There's nobody that could play the role in Hollywood. All of Hollywood, nobody can play the role of President Xi of China. Nobody could play the role. He's a fierce person. Putin, fierce, is smart. You know, a lot of times I'll say somebody's smart, and the fake news will go, he called President Xi smart. He rules with an iron fist, 1.5 billion
Wait,
people.
what? But you
Yeah, I'd
just
say
did.
he's smart. Wouldn't you
Wait.
say he's smart?
Why is he mad?
So
Wait, so he
I'm
says that
with
he
you.
said
doesn't
the
want,
fake
he doesn't
news.
want
I got
people
along
to
with him very
say
well. I mean,
that he
once COVID
calls
came,
Xi
we just
smart.
made a
While
great deal
simultaneously
with
calling him
helped our
smart, and he's
farmers
saying like,
supplement
isn't he
manufacturers.
smart?
But
And
I'm
he
with
didn't
him.
get any positive
And
feedback from
I
that
really
one.
had a great relationship with him, and then
Yeah, everyone's
him a
just kind of went
question. I
silent. They're
said,
like, what's going on here?
President. He's president for life, by the way. So I call him king. I say, king. He said, but I am not king. I said, you are to me. You're president for life. It's the same thing. He will be very soon. You know, they're having another. By the way, do you notice a lot of ships are circling Taiwan? That wouldn't have happened either, by the way. But I said, President, could I
Oh
ask
my
you a
God.
very
He
simple
said, you're
question?
king.
Do you have a drug problem? He looked at me like, what's wrong with that? No, of course not. He goes, no. He's like, what the hell stupid question is that? No.
He's saying
I
like
said, "You
the
don't have a
Chinese
drug
rule is
problem
so
with
much better because they have no
1.5
drug problem.
billion people."
Beast!
His
He's a
big
dingus,
problem is
boys.
They make the drugs, they send them into our country. That's their problem. That would have been their problem, and he was stopping it too. But now They're sending the fentanyl
It's,
in. at
the thing is, like,
numbers
they're
that you
too
wouldn't
stupid to
believe.
understand that
Wouldn't
he's saying,
believe.
like, President Xi
Pouring
does a
through that
really good
porous
job
border
dealing with these
at
issues,
numbers you
which
wouldn't believe.
arguably
I
are
had him
probably, like, the worst,
very close
most
to stop.
authoritarian parts of,
couldn't do
like,
it. I told him he
Chinese
can't do it.
rule.
Yeah, didn't they like?
He doesn't
So
take any of the good
President-
shit, like high-speed
President,
rail or social
You don't have
programs
a
or
drug
executing
problem.
billionaires.
But why?
It'd be
But
so
why
cool
don't
if we
you
had a
have
high-speed rail
drug
across the
problem?
country. That'd be fucking
We
sick.
have
Yeah.
quick trial. I said, what is
But
a
like
quick
his
trial?
thing that he's like, oh man, that was
immediately
really cool
catch
when people had COVID and then we like
drug dealer.
soldered a
We give
piece
him
of
quick
iron
trial.
on their door.
And if he is guilty, which I would say probably they're batting, would you say, Oz, would you say
You ever been
they're
to China
about batting
before?
100%
No, I want to
or
so
only
bad. I've
99?
I've been to China.
Oh, that's
If
sick.
the
You're an
drug
agent.
dealer is guilty, he is immediately executed. So we have no drug problem in China. And they have other countries like that too, Singapore, other countries.
I just like to tell the chat that when Hasan
And if
was
you do
spelling
that, you know,
President
I've told
Xi's
this, and it's a
name,
hard thing to say
he
'cause calling for the
initially
death
went
penalty
in
stuff, but think of
spelling
it.
it with a CI
Kill
instead of
500
an
people during a
XI.
lifetime.
That's
And I
literally-
think it's
why
much
are
worse
you
than that. I
lying?
think that's only what we hear about.
I would never
Stop.
desecrate.
I
If
watched you
didn't
do
get
it.
down
I would
to
never
75,
desecrate.
90%
I watched you do
from
it.
I would never
anyone, I'd be
desecrate our
surprised.
glorious leader.
I watched
And
you
these
start
committees
it
that
with
they
a
set
C
up,
because
it's
oh, it's like
laughable. It's a
C is like
horrible
oh, like she
We
like
would
C
solve
like
that
the word the
problem
letter
so
C.
fast, and I'm calling
You
on
fucking
Republicans and
idiot.
Democrats
You
immediately
dumbass.
to
Well, you are forever
institute, to
now
get to
known
Washington and institute
as
the
a
death
Trump supporter,
penalty.
so I
Wait
hope
a
you
second.
like that,
No.
especially
No
because of what
longer
Trump said
have
about President
a
Xi.
problem.
No, I'm
Yeah, definitely, guys.
shit.
Do not retweet this and
no. Wait, hold
and
on.
mention it every time.
So Philadelphia has
Come on.
become, as you heard,
Hold on, wait a
many
Hope
times
G.
over the last
Wait a
short
second.
period of
This
time,
is-
worse than it's ever
this
been.
isn't good. I
It's
mean,
become a
this
killing
is, think about
field.
my-
A few
come on,
days
Hasan,
ago,
think about my brand.
a
Nope.
4-year-old boy was shot while
Hasan.
getting
you
a
have, like-
haircut for his first day in school.
Top
His mother
G.
was so proud of him. He was getting a hut. He was shot. Recently, a pregnant mother was shot in the head and horribly murdered. Her unborn baby was miraculously saved. Under a Republican Congress, we should pass emergency funding to hire thousands and thousands more police officers nationwide, to put violent criminals behind
hold on a
bars
second.
and keep them behind bars.
Yeah, no,
And
he really did.
also,
He really just called the
Leave
president of
our
China
police
a king.
Yeah.
alone.
He's goated.
Let them do their job. Give them back their respect. They know what to do, and nobody can do it better, but they're under siege. They don't want to lose their house. They don't want to lose their families. What they do to police officers, what they do to police, and you're always going to have some bad apples, but they're very few. And we have a country that's become one of the most unsafe countries in the world. Think of it. You know, we're dealing with third
Can't even
world
think of it,
nations
sir.
where they're much safer than
I don't want to think of it, sir.
major parts. Think of it, what I said. In
No, I
Afghanistan,
will not
we didn't
think of
lose
it.
one soldier
Makes
in
me so
18
sad.
months, and yet I just
America
read
wept.
off numbers in Philadelphia. If you look at Atlanta, I have a district attorney
Howdy,
in Atlanta.
darling.
She's after me for a perfect phone call.
You're
And
getting
so
into it.
It's even
Me?
worse
With
proportionately
the
than Chicago for
little
killing.
hat tip?
But the district
Yeah.
attorney, Trump
Where'd you
made
even
a
get
phone
this from?
call because he was
What?
challenging the
From
election.
Patriot stores
So they're after
that
me
are
for a
not allowed
perfect,
for
by the way,
where
perfect
your
vote,
kind is
you'd be
not
very
allowed
proud
in.
of me. Just like the call to Ukraine.
Ethan
was
got it
perfect
from a
call.
website.
The one in Atlanta was a perfect call.
Atlanta.
Perfect call. And yet Atlanta is even worse than Chicago, proportionately. Restoring safety to America starts with defeating the Democrat extremists right here in Pennsylvania. Your state's radical Democrat candidate for Senate, John Fetterman, is the most dangerous Democrat. He's the most dangerous
He's the most dangerous.
Democrat.
So that guy
Seeking
is
to join Congress this
he
year
is
in
Michael
one of the
the
most
Black.
fringe far-left freak shows
He's like a
ever to
crazy
seek
like
election
black Israelite guy
for any
who
office
is
in
like a
any
conspiracy
state. You know, I've
theorist,
watched him over
and
the
he's the
last
leader of the
couple
Blacks
years.
for Trump
And
movement.
I said, you got to be kidding.
And he goes to
Actually, I
every
thought
rally.
Connor
He's his
Lamb-
biggest
I don't know
stand.
Connor
And
Lamb,
they always put him
but I
right
thought
behind the
he was
camera.
maybe a decent
Yeah.
politician. You know, he campaigned in a sort of a middle Democrat area, and he was doing commercials that was so good for me that people thought that he was a Republican. I like Connor Lamb. But Fetterman got it, and he got it in a landslide. And this guy's a disaster. He comes in with
How
a
long has he been
sweatsuit on. I've
talking
never
for?
seen him wear a suit. A dirty, dirty, dirty sweatsuit. It's really disgusting. You know, I'm a clean freak.
Sweatsuit.
I'm a clean freak, Oz. I don't like those dirty sweatsuits. They're disgusting. Fetterman may dress like a teenager getting high in his parents' basement. But he's a raging lunatic.
Oh, I mean, that's true. He
hell-bent
does dress
on
like
springing
that.
hardened criminals out of jail.
But also,
in the
so does
middle of
everyone in the
the
crowd.
worst
John
crime
Fetterman
wave
literally
in
dresses like every
Pennsylvania
fucking
history. He wants
like
everybody out of
Pennsylvania
jail. And by the
shithead.
way, he wants to get rid of your police.
Wait,
Fetterman
are you
is
calling
a
everyone in Pennsylvania
defund the
shitheads,
police
Hasan?
Oh yeah, all the
Marxist
time. What do you mean?
who's
I
just
slander
pulling the
Pennsylvania
wool
so
over
aggressively.
people's eyes,
Want to be
who
Ohio
literally
so
said that
bad,
if he
Western
had a
Pennsylvania can
magic
get some.
They got the
and could
cheesesteaks.
fix one thing, he would end life sentences without parole for murderers, cop killers,
Man.
rapists, and other
What
monstrous
I wouldn't give for a
criminals. That's
cheesesteak
what he
right now.
said.
You got any cheesesteaks, Hasan?
He wants them to
I
get
love
out of
cheesesteaks.
Any
jail.
cheesesteaks around?
Have you ever been to
Get
Pat's
out
and
of
Gino's,
jail.
or where they
Let's put
literally
Trump
will
in
say,
jail. Let's get these
or they
murders,
literally are
let
like, if
these
you, I
murderers
think it's
out.
Gino's.
Put
It says
Trump
like,
in
if you can't
jail.
order in English, get
Trump
the fuck
is
out. You
no
don't get
damn
cheesesteak
good.
at all.
He just works
Like they're
his
very
ass off for this
aggressively
country.
xenophobic.
Through his position on the Pennsylvania Board of Pardons,
It's like the
Fetterman has released a record
It's
number
like the,
of dangerous criminals back onto the streets.
You know that
many
Twitch
of which
channel with the
have
ducks?
created horrible, just atrocious
Ash ducks or
crimes.
something like that.
No.
He supports setting loose one out of
I've
every
spoken
three
to them.
And those
inmates
places are terrible
in your
too.
prison.
They told me I couldn't
And he
speak
bragged
on
that his goal is to get as many
Hasan is a black
criminals
person, not
out
all
onto
blacks.
the street.
Left,
as
we
quickly
like that
as
in the hood.
possible.
Different talking points.
Fetterman
What?
supports taxpayer-funded drug dens.
Bro, this
and the
dude is
complete
insane. What are you talking about?
decriminalization
Some of the stuff
of
that your
illegal
chat says
drugs,
is just, like, how hard to
including
understand.
heroin, cocaine, crystal meth, and ultra-lethal fentanyl. And by the way, he takes them himself, which would mean death and despair
Who
for
takes them
every
himself?
community in Pennsylvania.
Is he saying Fetterman
and
takes
every
all those
community
drugs?
in the
I
United
think so.
States
He might
of
be right.
America.
If he's saying it, hold on now.
Compare that to President Xi of China. A little different, would you say?
Oh, he's back on show.
Fetterman openly supports deadly
He's
sanctuary
saying he like.
cities.
Oh, dude, this is
Oh,
better.
that's a
and he
good one.
signed
This is
a
much
pledge
better.
That's
to ban fracking.
That's a really solid one.
which
Okay,
would
finally,
demolish
it's like.
almost 1 million jobs in Pennsylvania. I told you they were going to do that, Pennsylvania. Well, you did listen to me because
Are
I
you-
won
are you,
Pennsylvania by
I'm gonna
a lot.
post that underneath and be like, we switch seats.
I can't hold. I can only hold accountable
A nice
the
person
stupid
said they
people
liked
that
our
counted the
hats.
votes. Did you ever hear
And brought us to
the
the front.
statement by, I believe it was Lenin. Did anyone ever
Oh,
hear
okay.
Lenin?
Oh, you're gonna tag me,
People
huh?
would say it with less sophistication,
Oh.
Lenin.
All right. This is
Lenin, I like
Oh, this
the way
is-
they
this
say
is-
Wait,
it.
what? Lenin? Wait, hold
Where
up.
he said, the vote counter is far more important
You wanna
than
open
the
the door? You wanna get
candidate.
the door?
Well, that
This
turned out to
Marsh.
be true. The vote counter is far more important than the candidate, said by Lenin. And while Fetterman wants to raise your
Wait,
taxes,
what is he saying?
he
Lenin?
is a spoiled and entitled socialist loser who leached off his parents' money. You know, he lives on the parents' money until he was 49 years old. And on top of it all, he's too cowardly to even show up and debate. A very nice man, Oz. He's a very nice man. Oz, you'll treat him nicely, right?
You know what Marsh called you behind your back? He called you an emotional
Because he knows
terrorist.
that his positions are totally indefensible.
And it's
in all
true, you are
fairness,
an emotional
you need
terrorist.
somebody that's going to be out there and just ripping it for you. Otherwise, you're going to lose out to all the other senators that are going to bring back money
Oh, that's
to their states,
sick.
etc.
That's
Oz
dope.
will do it.
God.
Fetterman is running
Fuck
against a
friend.
man I have known for many years. I
this
told
for?
you I had a real problem with him when he said I was a little heavy. I didn't like that.
Way back when I just had it. So it's yours now.
And of course, it was
That's
false,
fucking
right?
dope.
Was
That's
he wrong?
fucking sick, dude. Check this
And
shit
who
out,
is
chat.
with our MAGA movement
That's dope.
all the way. He's with us all
Oh, you
the
can't move
way.
its arms, unfortunately.
And you know, some people thought that, oh, gee, maybe this was a little bit of a
back there.
controversial thing, but I know him very well. And he's a guy that gets it done.
shit, it's
He's
the
a
queen.
good person, too. His wife is a fantastic person. I think I like her even more than I like him.
Chat is
Lisa.
crying because they can't post pot friend. There you
So-
go. Now you can. Suck me.
I'd like to ask Dr. Oz
Hey,
to
Hasan,
step
can I hold that
forward
gun?
and
Yeah?
You gotta put the hat
say
back
a
on.
few
though.
words. He's been an incredibly successful man on television and medicine. He knows what's happening, and he's going to work and fight for Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Oh, let's see what this fucking charisma suck has to say.
Pennsylvania, we have one question. One important question we have to answer by November 8th. Are you ready for it?
Fuck you,
Is the
Dr.
country headed in the right direction? If your friends say yes, take away their car keys, they should not be driving. In that condition, people should stay home. But if the answer is no, we've got a big problem. This country has dramatically turned in the wrong direction. I'm the person for change.
Yeah!
What's he a doctor in?
He actually was a very famous
I'll make
doctor.
the
I think he was like a
change
heart
based
surgeon
on
or a
our
neurosurgeon
family
or something, but
values
like
here
he
in
became a TV
Pennsylvania
doctor.
Because I believe in the American dream. I am part
Why
of
is he
the
standing
American
behind
dream.
him? He's not leaving the stage.
My whole life has been about hard work
Well,
and earning and
he wasn't
supporting
done
other
on TV
Americans
yet.
because that's what Americans do. I believe we can make safe cities, streets, and communities. I believe we can have a secure border
doesn't know what to do with
and
himself
allow
while he's,
legal immigration, but
while he's
not the
not speaking.
fentanyl brought by traffickers bringing human beings and fentanyl from China, which took 100,000
guns are
lives
so
last
fun.
year. And I know people
what
in this
I mean?
audience have
Like,
been
I
hurt
just,
by
like, I just
fentanyl.
wanna play with
I
it.
believe we can have an economy
Like
that hurts the
immediately, I think I'm
American people.
revolver
Most
Ocelot. The moment
importantly,
I have a gun in my hand,
I
I'm
believe
like,
that each
I
and
will
every
100.
one
If
of
this
you,
was real, I would
so
have shot
should
my
you.
dick off
God bless you.
immediately.
Do you own a gun, Hasan?
Information that I will not be revealing about my own protection measures.
Yeah, if there's anything that you could say,
So we have a great record of endorsement, all
let's
of
just
us
say
together.
this.
It's very
You know
close
those
to
Modern Warfare
99%.
2 sentry
and
guns?
I endorse that
Let's just
guy,
say
and I'm
these
telling
Hasan's
you,
got
are-
a couple outside his house.
I
Let's
will
just say these are some
always
replicas
tell you
of
this. I'll tell you
real
the
ones
truth,
I
and
have,
he's
if
going
you
to
know
be a
what I mean.
phenomenal representative for Pennsylvania. You got to vote him in. You got to vote him in. He's a great guy.
He spoke for. Wait, that's all. That's all
And
Oz is
Lisa,
going to
thank you
say.
very
Yeah,
much.
because he's
Thank you very
fucking
much.
awful.
What you
It's
have
just
to
like
put
what
up
he
with,
said,
Lisa.
and
And
he
the
leaves.
goal is
Thank you
for
very
Trump
much. You
to
know, they
make Oz
spent,
look
just so
good.
you know, they spent like $50 million trying to destroy that man. $50 million, like it was water, and they didn't come close. This guy is tough, and he's strong, and he loves this state.
Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene is there. Look, did you see her?
Dude, she's hanging out.
All the greats.
This
All the greats
November,
are
you
here.
also have to defeat the far-left Democrat candidate for governor. Little
Yeah, they
Josh
spent-
I wonder if they
Shapiro,
hang out.
They spent $50 million, and it worked though.
who was so much like Fetterman, other than he's about
Don
half his
Jr.
height,
just
which is
texted me.
fine.
Said, "Did you hear what my father
Just fine.
said?
I always say,
He's
"It's
crushing on the
absolutely fine.
rally
You don't want to
stage."
tell height jokes. You can't tell.
And it's
any
literally,
jokes.
I mean, it's like the campaign. I get text
Not
messages from the
weight jokes,
campaign,
not
the
height
Trump
jokes.
campaign,
I've got
because
them
I'm a
all
fan.
covered.
And it's
But
because he called
is a
him like
disaster for the
nice.
state.
Because there was a
He's
Don
the one
Jr.
that
mention
kept saying,
earlier.
oh, after
He's so sad.
after it came out that we have a great man running against him. Oh, that's the man I wanted to run against. No, it's not. Because that's the man that had a base like I do. He has a base
Don't
that's
even
so
try it.
powerful
Ted.
and so
You
strong.
can't do it. It's not that easy.
He doesn't want to
Oh
run
yeah,
against
watch this.
Be real.
I just wasn't focused.
As Attorney General, he
Oh, yeah.
presided over the complete disintegration of law and order and letting
Just smack me in
gangs
the
and
face.
criminals run wild. Look at the numbers I just talked to you about.
Yeah, it's
in
whatever,
Philadelphia.
Chad.
Well,
Oh yeah.
he's the
Just
guy.
doing my spins.
And those numbers are getting worse. There's nothing to stop these
this hat is
animals
so
from
fucking
continuing.
massive.
Those numbers are going to get worse if that's
Crazy, you have to
possible.
wear
It's
it
not even
for the
you think
podcast.
It's not possible.
You taking a
Oh, you're
video?
turning those on?
Shapiro supports
I hope it
sanctuary
doesn't turn off the
cities.
PC.
He sided with Marxist,
Let's not turn it on
anti-American
until
BLM
we're
radicals and
done with the
Antifa.
stream.
And he's a vicious hater
Dig
of
this.
free speech and a hater of your Second Amendment. So he's going to let criminals
a
roam
hat.
your streets, and he's not going to
gotta
let
look
you
hot
have a
for
gun
your-
to
for your
protect
pod.
yourself. Shapiro is also using his office to shut down your children's schools and force masks to be strapped to your children's faces, doing unimaginable harm. And like Fetterman, Shapiro is a pro-abortion extremist who supports totally unrestricted abortion on demand right through the 9th month. Think of this.
Through the 9th month.
And you know where I am. You know where I am. The exceptions. I believe in the exceptions. He supports it, though, right through the 9th month and beyond. You know what beyond means? After the baby is born. After the baby is born.
What is that?
So as I said in my debate
Not
with
talking about Ben Shapiro, you
crooked
fucking
Hillary
weirdos.
Clinton, rip the baby out of the womb at any time. And if the baby's
He's talking about
already out
the
of
guy
womb,
that Doug
he's
Mastriano
there
is running
to
against
just talk to the doctor.
in the gubernatorial
No,
race.
you don't want that. The states will make the decision. By the way,
Everyone in the chat's like,
states
oh,
will
Ben
make the
Shapiro. No,
decision.
like, no.
And in
There's a guy that
Pennsylvania,
Doug
I have a
Mastriano
feeling that
is running
decision
against.
will
You're
be an
wrong. No, he
interesting
is talking about Ben
decision, but It's
Shapiro.
up to the states, and that's the way it was always supposed to be. But he wants to let things happen that no civilized person would allow. They don't allow it in other countries. No Pennsylvanian should listen to one word on abortion.